Okay. So dreams.
Mila,
Yes.
the big question.
Yes.
So intimidating. What's your dream?
Okay, so we started this conversation off with one dream. Now I've pivoted.
Okay.
So I'm going to say my dream, selfishly and selflessly, is for people and myself to never stop being curious, never stop the idea of curiosity, never stop being a risk taker, never stop making mistakes. Because I think sometimes we get to a place in our lives where we're either too comfortable or we're so scared to make a mistake because we feel like, you know, there's all these repercussions to it. And of course, this is all done in a safe way. But nonetheless, I think it's hard to move forward and make big leaps if you're not willing to take some hits along the road. And I sometimes find myself at my current state being a little bit more risk averse than I was in my 20s. And I'm like, I don't want to lose the youthfulness that I had in my 20s and the ability to think big and think large and feel like I'm made of Teflon and anything's possible. The older you get, the more that gets knocked out of you. Even with the most success, even with everything, you're still less likely to be that curious. And I don't want to lose that. And I wish that for about anybody. But my original one that I didn't want to share with you is the idea of my dream is to get to a place in my life where I can affect people's lives and not expect anything in return. That is my dream. And by that, I don't mean like accolades. I just mean like I want to get to a place where I have the luxury of just being like doing good to people without anything else, without having to do anything else other than be a positive influence on people's lives. My kids included, my parents, my husband, like anybody that I come across, I just want to be a good person. And sometimes it's really hard to be a good person, I find. Although my intent is always to be a good person, I sometimes fail.
That is such a cool dream.
Isn't that good? That's my dream.
What was your dream as a kid?
Oh my gosh, as a kid,
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, this is gonna be like a slight of a sad answer, but like I don't think I had dreams as a kid, or I had a dream because everything felt so surreal for such a long period in my life. I think that there was, when I moved to this country when I was 7, 8, there was a compounding effect of like so many things happening all at once, where I would say from 7 to 9, I was just playing catch up. So like, you know, it's a little bit of like that, like I was salmon swimming upstream because I was just like, where am I? What language is this? What is this? What? Like just exploring the world without having a dream, because you didn't need to dream. Everything felt like a dream. And then at 9, I don't, like my life changed. Like I met my manager, is my manager to this day, Susan Curtis. I started acting, which was crazy. Like everything kind of started happening in this like way that was felt like it was out of my control, that I didn't need to dream. Like I didn't need to have a dream. It just was all happening. Though it was happening to me, I did feel like I had control over it, which is like a contradiction to what I just said. But it was surreal. Like that's what makes me go like, do I believe that this is real, or are we living in a simulation? I fully 100% believe that this is not a simulation. I don't believe it is, because of my life in itself was just so many out of these world experiences. But I don't think I allowed myself to dream, because I felt like this was the dream, that if I gave myself any other thought that this would somehow burst and I would wake up. Like I felt like I was living in a dream for the longest time, because when you come from a country that's, you know, a communist country, your life is so small that your ability to dream is like, I just wish I had bread, or I wish that I have milk, or oh my God, I can't believe that we have meat. Like your wish is so small, or your dreams are so small. Not in the sense that people in first world countries look at dreams. Yeah. No, your dream is just like, you can't even, like I had a banana one day and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know this food existed. Like I didn't know a banana was a food. Like I didn't, like that's a weird thing to say, that like, no, I didn't have dreams. I just kind of had like happy moments. But the smallest of circumstances would make me happy. Then you come to this country and the whole country is just dreams. You can't, like people that aren't from America, that don't grow up in a less advanced country will never appreciate America as much as an immigrant will. Ever, ever, ever. And I stand by that. Because there's nothing like this country. It is all about dreams. There's nothing that you can't fathom doing here. Nothing. Like you can, lots of things are wrong. Every country's got something wrong with it. But there's nothing like this one where you can dream of doing something and it's actually plausible. It just is. It's plausible. There's nowhere else in the world that things like that can happen. So I didn't have it because I felt like my whole life was a dream. Honestly, to this day, I'm knock on wood, I'm so superstitious. Like, I feel like my life is a dream. I do. I'm so, like, think about it. I'm a 7-year-old kid from communist Russia who thought that I was moving up the street, who came to this country called America that I never heard of. And, like, all of a sudden, I saw a grocery store for the first time. I saw people, like, laughing. I saw people going to Disneyland, which
that must have been
wild.
insane.
The only purpose for Disneyland is for you to have fun.
Yeah.
I've never had that in my life. Like, up until then, I was like, this is it? They want nothing in return. You can argue and say they want your money. Fine. But the only purpose of it is for you to go and experience happiness. I was like, this is unbelievable. Like, I couldn't wrap my head around that. Television? Oh, that was wild. Like, oh my God. So
Did you know about America in Russia?
No.
Like, it was like a total new.
I was 7, so I maybe was starting to learn about continents.
Yeah.
But countries, probably not. No, but I don't even know. No. People, you have to remember, it's 1991, so it's like right at the fall of communism. Before internet and cell phones for everybody else. But yeah. Yeah, it was wild. And my parents came here with nothing, and their dream had nothing to do with themselves. Nothing. They left everything behind so that my brother and I had an opportunity to at least do something with our lives. That's it. That was their only dream. They knew they were never going to do anything in this country. Their degrees were not transferable. They were willing to drop everything and be service workers so that my brother and I can go to school and so that my brother and I can have a dream. Whatever it would be. It's wild to think that way. I know.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's my dream. That's my whole story of my dreams. But I do feel like I'm in a dream every day. Every day I wake up and I go, I'm so grateful. And I mean it. Like, I don't say it because I feel like I have to, or I feel like it somehow betters me as a person. I genuinely say because I'm like, oh my God, if I don't say something bad will happen. Like, I love my life so much. Yeah.
That's so cool, Mila.
There you go. That's my dream.
That's your dream.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
I'm so grateful. I've done this 7 years, and I've come to a point where I've realized that it is an absolute gift for me to hear people's dreams, because people trust me with their dreams. And it's not, maybe in LA it's something people talk about all the time, but back home people don't talk about their dreams.
Sure.
And so I'm so grateful when anyone would trust me to.
Yes, in America people talk about their dreams. I think you hit it right on there, because in most countries people don't talk about it because it's such a circumstantial thing where, like, day to day, based on your circumstances, your dream changes. And so the idea of having big wild dreams is not plausible to most people. Or, like you said it, they're like, calm down, like, don't get ahead of yourself, relax, like, one day at a time. So that your dreams get squished in so many other countries. Not in this one. Like, you can think as big or as small as you want. You can think as minimal, as maximal as you want. And no one's going to look at you and go, calm down.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for doing this. I think this is so cool.
I'm stoked, man.
Yeah, me too.
Seriously. It is a long way from Auckland, New Zealand right now. This is so cool.
But I'm going.
You're going.
Yeah. Think small. Sheep farm.
Yeah.
Goats. No, sheep. What am I doing? Sheep herding. Yes.
Pukekos.
Yes.
A pukeko farm.
Yeah. A poo kicker farm.
Wait, I gotta show you the pukeko.
A poo kicker.
I gotta